Right, so for today's video, we're going to be talking about a situation where a company has called out a TikToker for return fraud, and it's now actually got to the point where the police are involved, so there's a lot to get through. Now, before we get into that, I do need to give you a bit of a weird disclaimer right now. I've, injured my neck, or, it's, the back of my neck / shoulder here, to the point now where my head is, always kind of on, a little bit of a tilt, and it kind of really hurts. So, if I just look like I'm in, maybe discomfort, or just, I'm stuck in one position, that's why. Realistically, no one would have probably noticed if I didn't just mention it, and now you're going to be looking out for it, so I don't know why I just said that, but yeah, it hurts. It's got a lot better though. It was a lot more painful a few days ago. We're getting there. And the most embarrassing part about all of it, it's not that I was doing physical activity or some crazy story. I literally went to go and dry my hair with a towel after I got out of the shower, lifted my arm up, and then I just kind of felt some pain, and now it's been a shooting pain for a good few days at this point. So yeah, I feel like I should have probably made up a more interesting story, but that's the truth. But enough of rambling about my pain, let's get into today's video, right? So there's two main people you need to be aware of. The first one being a TikToker called Michelle with about 20,000 followers. Now, when I actually saw this situation for the first time about a week ago, when there was kind of limited information around it, this account actually didn't exist anymore. Michelle had deactivated, I assume. Yeah, deactivated. It's back now, right? So this is the first time I've actually been able to see her account, and if we look down her account, it looks like she posts a lot of TikTok shop videos, which is a big part of today's video. But you can see she's got some videos where she's showing a mini smartphone, some knee-high socks, also some open earbuds. She'll show a product that's on TikTok shop, she'll have the little link at the bottom, and then if you purchase from that, she'll get some commission. Now, the second person you'd be aware of is actually Sarah, who owns a boutique called Alexander Jane, and they sell, clothing. I mean, if we take a scroll down their page right now, you can see some of the items that they're showing off in the videos, and if we look at their website, you can see more specifically the type of stuff that they sell. But either way, these are the two main people you need to be aware of. Michelle, a TikToker, does TikTok shop videos, and Sarah, who is the owner of a boutique. And Sarah actually recently uploaded a video calling out Michelle for stealing.
I debated if I should make this video or not, and maybe I'll delete it if I get an apology from you, but Michelle, you have failed to respond to my many methods of trying to reach you, so I'm gonna call you out and warn other TikTok shops that you're stealing from.
And then goes on to explain the type of stealing we're talking about here is return fraud, and even says that Michelle and Sarah have worked together previously.
Deliberate return fraud is a form of theft. And to my surprise, when I looked at your prior orders, we have previously gifted items to you to work with you as a TikTok shop affiliate. So not only did you feel like us gifting you product wasn't enough, you decided to then also do return fraud and get to keep your items for completely free and it be out of my pocket. Again, theft and fraud.
Now, when I first watched this video, I was quite confused how return fraud works, because obviously you don't get a refund for the item unless it's returned first, and then they can check out the item and make sure everything's okay. So I was confused, what actually happened here. But then after looking into it a bit more and watching the videos surrounding the situation, it seems like this is a very big problem with TikTok Shop. Because from what I understand here, if you buy something off TikTok Shop and then you want to return it and get a refund for that item, you actually send the item to TikTok Shop and you don't send it to the actual seller. Meaning it's TikTok Shop who receive the item first and then decide if they're going to refund you. Now, obviously, a major problem with that is that TikTok Shop sells a bunch of items from a bunch of different stores. So if you were to return something that just looks similar to the item you've bought, but isn't the item that you bought from this seller, TikTok Shop might get that wrong, assume it is the right item, and issue a refund, therefore leaving the store out of money because they've had to issue a refund and they didn't even get that item back. So without even looking into this situation specifically, that system I've just described, if that is genuinely 100% how it works, that is so beyond flawed. But let's listen to Sarah's explanation here, because she even goes on to show the items that were returned.
Even crazier is you're wearing the items that you supposedly returned and got a full refund on in your most recent videos. The first time that you returned something, it was this shirt that we clearly do not sell. I don't know where you got it. It's the Urban Diction brand, but very cheaply made and not something we sell. We have your return label attached with it. That was the first case. Maybe that was a mistake, but then it happened 2 more times. Then you returned whatever this jacket is, which is very clearly worn, washed, and well-loved many times.
Yeah, so as you can see, according to Sarah, Michelle would return items to get her refund. It's just not the items that she actually bought from Sarah and her boutique. Now, of course, if this was a direct refund from the store, they would receive the item, see that it's not something that they sell, and not issue the refund. But because TikTok Shop is involved in the middle here, that's why this has all been allowed to happen. And the situation becomes more bizarre when Sarah actually shows a video from Michelle's account, an old video, where she is wearing this jacket that she has now refunded and said that it was a product that she bought from their store.
Oh, look, I found the jacket. It's from August 26. You returned this at the end of December to the wrong shop, obviously on purpose.
Yeah, so what Sarah is showing here is that the item that Michelle apparently returned is just an item that she'd owned for months at this point and thought, you know what? We can return this and say it was the product that I actually bought from them. And that information is important for a few reasons, right? It's showing proof that Michelle did have this product in the first place, but also because it was a product that she owned for months, you can't really say, oh, I was confused, I was trying to return that to a different store, because she'd already owned it for months. She wouldn't have been able to return it even to the right store. And as we go on further, it becomes pretty clear, at least in my opinion, that this wasn't just kind of like a random mistake, because it happened multiple times.
Here's the return label on something we clearly don't sell, and you can tell it has been worn with the amount of pilling. This feels really, really cheap. It's just really gross that you're doing this. Here's one of the items that you returned, but instead sent back one of these worn pieces that we don't sell. And here you are wearing that item yesterday.
This video is...
Wow, okay, right. So as you just heard there, Sarah is saying you have apparently returned this item that you bought from us. You've instead sent us a different item in return. You've got your refund on top of that. And now you're still wearing the item that you apparently returned in your videos as recent as yesterday as she posted this video. So according to this information, it seems like Michelle wasn't even trying to hide it, right? Like I said, she's literally still wearing it in the videos after claiming that she returned it. Sarah then does go on to explain that she's tried to reach out to Michelle since this, like before she actually made this video, and instead of getting a reply back, she just got unfollowed and ignored.
What's weird is when I discovered this a couple days ago, I looked up your profile and you were following us. And then this is today after I sent the message to you yesterday asking you to pay for the items that you stole from us. So clearly you saw it, you didn't respond, and then you also did unfollow us, which is fine, but I'm gonna call you out if you're gonna play it like that. I always try to give people the benefit of the doubt, and believe it or not, this is not the first time this has happened, but it is the first time a TikTok Shop affiliate has done this, and I just think that that is so wrong that you're on here trying to promote businesses and promote products, and at the same time lie to your audience and steal from those very businesses that you're trying to promote.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't really touched on that too much, but that is one of the most insane bits, right? Because first of all, this is a creator who earns commission from these products being sold, right, by posting these TikTok Shop videos, but also on top of that, they have sent free items to Michelle before, and in return, it seems like, allegedly, she has committed return fraud. I would definitely be curious to know if this is something that she has done with multiple stores. I haven't seen any videos from any of the stores coming out and saying that Michelle has done something similar, but I mean, who knows? Is it a way to kind of cycle through products and get them for free? Or is this just kind of like a one-off store she's doing it to? Now, to end this first video, Sarah does make it very clear that if she doesn't receive the money for these items, she is going to get the police involved.
I'm sure that we're going to get blocked from you, which is totally fine. I emailed you your invoice to pay for those items, and if it's not paid for, I will be pressing charges for return theft in your local jurisdiction. I do not play with this. You're stealing from my family, from my small business. It's not cool.
Now, like I briefly mentioned at the beginning, when this video was actually first posted, Michelle didn't respond to it in like a video or anything like that. She actually ended up deactivating her account. And that was kind of all I knew about the situation at that point. I was hoping that maybe there'd be like a response or whatnot, and we didn't get a direct response from Michelle on a video at least. But a few days ago, Sarah did end up posting an update with some more proof, and then also kind of giving an update of what has happened since. Now, Sarah does start off the video by saying that it has actually been paid now, but she wants to explain what's happened here.
So many of you guys were invested in this drama and tea, and I don't blame you because I am the same way. But yes, she did end up paying, and I want to share like the entire timeline and story and why I have not removed that video. I discovered the return fraud on Tuesday night. I immediately emailed her the invoice with an explanation of why she was getting that invoice. I sent her a DM on Wednesday, and then I also sent her a text message on Thursday morning when I discovered that she unfollowed us on TikTok but didn't respond to my email or DM on TikTok. And then late Thursday is when I made that video basically like calling her out. She waited to respond to me until she was getting hateful comments on her videos, which I don't think that they were hateful. It was more just people saying, hey, where'd you get that sweater from Alexander Jane that you returned? She said she was getting hateful comments and was too sick to respond to my many methods of communication.
Okay, so as you just heard, it wasn't just the one DM that was sent here where she like unfollowed and didn't respond. There was multiple attempts at trying to get in touch with her from what we're hearing here, like emails and whatnot, and was receiving no response up until the video went out and she started receiving comments. And Sarah continues by saying at this point, she still was like refusing to pay for the items, so she actually did get the police involved.
Friday morning, she stopped answering me. Friday morning, I gave her one less chance to pay the invoice, and she still refused to, said she didn't feel safe paying the invoice. So then I filed a police report on Friday afternoon, and he told me he was going to work through the weekend to try and contact her. So I don't know if she ultimately paid because of the police contacting her, or if it was because of the social media like presence that a couple creators had made videos and tried to help me like get the word out.
And then we do get to see the text message conversation, so let's have a read through. Okay, so starting with Sarah's message here, it says, "Hi Michelle, my name is Sarah and I'm the owner of Alexander Jane. I have tried to reach out 3 different ways and this will be my last attempt allowing you the chance to make this right. On several occasions now, you have returned items to us that were obviously not what we originally sent you. Yet the items that you returned and were refunded on can be seen being worn in several of your TikTok videos. I have sent an invoice for the full price of all of the items that you have stolen from us, and that needs to be paid within the hour. I will be filing theft charges if this is not taken care of." To which Michelle then responds saying, "I'm just seeing this message. I'm seeing hateful comments as well. I have been sick. I have a lot of packages coming in and go out. I've been having help with that lately. If there was a mistake, I apologise. What would you like me to do?" To which Sarah responds saying, "There is an open invoice in your email for the items that were stolen." And then Michelle says, "I did not steal anything. I'm not going to argue either. I'm trying to figure out the solution." I mean, look, clearly they disagree on a lot of things here, but it seems like we are kind of building to the point of it being solved somewhat quickly. Obviously, this is after the video and several messages, but from when this conversation is actually starting, what we can see here, it seems like we're on the right path. But the conversation carries on with Sarah saying, "You have our product but didn't pay for it. The solution is to pay for it." Michelle says, "I did pay for it. I'm trying to go check out my email now." Sarah says, "Here's the link to the invoice," and sends a link, and carries on by saying, "You paid for it, then submitted a return request, then returned incorrect products that is worn and over 6 months old, continued to wear the items you filed the return for, and TikTok automatically refunded you on the returns." Michelle then says, "I'm not trying to steal from you. I'm understanding what you're saying, but this is all a mistake. I cannot see the items you're talking about. You say the one in my video with hateful comments." To which Sarah says, "What do you mean you cannot see the items I'm talking about?" And Michelle says, "Like I said, I've been sick. We can clear this up. Can you just show me which one's mistake, please? By no means was I trying to steal from you." And Sarah says, "Yes, I'll send the order numbers of each." And then we see the order numbers for each product. There's actually 4 products here. I think originally we thought it was 3 products, but I guess there's 4, and there's like a description of them, like when they were placed and whatnot. But we do see the prices. So one item was $60, another item $60, $40, and another one $40. And then goes on further to say, "Here are the photos of each time we tried to reach out to TikTok with the photos and shipping labels of the items you sent back." And these messages we just read were on the Thursday at around 7 p.m. And as you can see, after these pictures were sent, there was no response. So Sarah reaches out again on Friday morning saying, "Hello, are you going to pay the invoice?" To which Michelle says, "I wanted to help, but now I don't feel safe giving you any more of my info," which, I mean, I don't understand. Like, you blatantly have items from a store that you haven't paid for, or at least did pay for, but then have got the refund for them items through like a very flawed system with TikTok Shop, and now you're refusing to actually pay for them items that you still have because of like info. I don't get it. Like, there is such an easy and obvious solution to this whole problem, right? Just pay for the items, and for some reason that can't happen at this point. I mean, Sarah does end up replying to this message saying, "Because I made a video and called you out, no problem. I will be handing effing over to the police and working on getting your TikTok account completely banned. You will not continue to get away with this and play the victim role. You should be ashamed of yourself." Okay, so if I had to guess, this might be the reason why Michelle privated or deactivated her account, because of this, because Sarah was saying, "I'm going to try and get your account banned." Maybe that's a reason, or maybe it was just the comments. Now, as for Michelle bringing up like hateful comments, I don't know what the comments were like. The comments are currently turned off, so I can't see any of them. Like I said, I don't know the type of comments she's receiving. If people were going out of their way to be like extremely hurtful instead of just like talking about this situation, asking where the money is and why this situation has happened, then clearly if it's anything on top of that and it's personal, that's too far. But like I just mentioned, I haven't seen them personally, and the comments are currently turned off. Now, as the video carries on, Sarah actually goes on to say that she did get the police involved, and ultimately Michelle ended up paying for the items.
So Friday afternoon was the last I heard from her. I filed a police report, submitted all of my evidence. The cop was going to, or deputy was going to, attempt to contact her over the weekend. That's the last that I've heard from him. So again, I don't know if she paid it on Sunday late afternoon because of the police contacting her or because of the creators who made videos and my video. I've heard that she was texting with other creators. I don't have any evidence, or I haven't seen any of that. But ultimately I'm going to leave the video up because I don't feel like she had any remorse. I think she only paid because of the presence that we had on social media. And if she did it to me that many times, how many other businesses did she get away doing it to? And also, I'm still trying to get her account like completely banned, like that she'll never be able to come back on. So that's what I'm trying to do, because she like gaslit me that like I did something wrong.
Okay, so we just heard Sarah's reasoning for keeping the videos up. She's saying that she's still going to try and get the account banned. I don't think the account would be banned for something like this. She might be took off like the creator like thing, you know, to be able to do like the TikTok shop videos in the first place. Maybe that is something that can happen. I can't see the account being banned personally. I could be wrong. But yeah, I also would be quite curious to know like if this has happened with other companies before. Because if it has happened with other companies before, then I can imagine she would be took off like the creator program that does the whole TikTok shop stuff. But who knows? Now at this point, Sarah goes on to show the email that Michelle had sent her when she actually did finally pay the invoice. And it is very hard to read. I will do my best job. And it says, "Hi there, my sincerest apology for the inconvenience this has caused you. What a horrible mix-up and misunderstanding this was. I wish you all the best. Have a blessed day." So that's the final message from Michelle, and then she paid the invoice. Now clearly, as we watch this video further, Sarah doesn't believe this and doesn't believe that it was a mix-up in the first place.
I just don't think that it was a mix-up and that it was like a true mistake and accident, because if that was the case, that wouldn't have happened 4 times. And also, we would never call somebody out if it happened once. I totally understand you can mix up a return here or there, but like be honest and answer somebody before I make a video about you and other creators make a video about you. So I've never done this before. I've never caused all the drama online, but you guys were invested, so I wanted to share all of the evidence and all of the conversations that were had, because I feel like she doesn't really care or have any remorse, and that it was a mix-up and a misunderstanding, which if that was the case and you truly mixed something up early on, she would have responded immediately, been, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry, I did not mean to do that. I have an assistant that's helping. Like, let me make this right. I don't get paid for however many days." Like, I would have set up a payment plan with her or anything, but this is now 5 minutes long, which it's taken up way too much of my time in life.
Okay, so then she goes on to do like the outro for the video. But yeah, just on that note, if I had a guess as well, from my own personal opinion, it doesn't feel like it was a mistake. It feels kind of intentional to me. I could obviously be wrong, right? The main person who would know that the most is Michelle. But the fact that it just happened on multiple times and she carried on wearing the items and whatnot, it feels like it was like on purpose and she wasn't responding to the messages and whatnot. But who knows? I would love to know your opinions in the comment section down below on this whole situation. If you did enjoy this video, please do leave a like on it, subscribe if you are new, and until the next one, I'll see you guys in a bit. Alright, goodbye.